This is the other side of Egypt. Over the last 12 months, news images coming out of the country have been of political demonstrations and deadly violence on city streets. But there's also a strange quiet in parts of the country, a nation home to some of the world's most visited tourist sites. Like Aswan, nearly 1,000 kilometres south of the capital Cairo. Usually the River Nile here is bustling with cruise ships and busloads of tourists exploring ancient temples. Instead, for now, the city stands eerily empty of visitors. One of the most popular activities in Aswan is to hire a felucca for a sunset cruise on one of Egypt's traditional vessels. The last time I was here, the river was packed. This time, there are only a handful of boats in the water.
Until now, it's little tourist, not. We hope one day tourists come very more, more tourists in my country, because after the problem at 25 of January, season are very low now. We hope at winter time we have good season here.
It's not only the boat trade experiencing tough times. Five-star properties like the old Cataract Hotel, which is where Agatha Christie wrote her Death on the Nile, recently reopened after a 3-year renovation, and it's been forced to offer rooms at a heavy discount.
Since January, since the revolution, the tourism industry has been severely affected, whereas by this time of year, most of the hotels, the 5-star hotels, would have achieved, I would say, 70% occupancy. At this time of the year, it's nowhere near that.
And it's not only Aswan which is feeling the slump. Tourist arrivals across Egypt have plunged, with estimated numbers for last year showing 30% fewer visitors and a similar drop in revenue. The downturn is conspicuously evident, even at prime time, like sunset at the Temple of Luxor. The lack of crowds and queues does make for a very different travel experience in Egypt. And that becomes even more acute at less well-known sites like Habu Temple. Well, I've been here for over an hour and I've seen just maybe 20 tourists walk through the temple, which shows as soon as you head off from the classic route of the valleys of the kings and the queens, the temple of Hatshepsut, you really do have exquisite places like this all to yourself. The step pyramid at Saqqara was also almost deserted, and although there were more tourists at the Temple of Karnak, it was nothing like the crowds I've seen there in the past.
From the revolution started, we have very low business. Revolution nearly over. I don't find any reason why the people don't like to come to Egypt. I hope all the people come to Egypt here, especially we have a nice weather, nice civilization, nice country. I hope come soon. We're waiting you to come to Egypt.
The underlying fact is that Egypt holds some of the world's most important archaeological sites, and new discoveries are still coming to light, like a recently uncovered parade of sphinxes in Luxor. Well, this is where the Avenue of the Sphinx ends for now, just at the edge of Luxor Temple. There's still about 2.5 kilometers until Karnak Temple, which is where this pathway is going to lead. At that point, the Egyptian authorities plan to push this as a new attraction to drive visitors back into Egypt.